Hey guys, it's Luke, and today we're going to be talking about something pretty cool. We're going to be doing a whole overview on Sonus Faber's Gravis line of subwoofers. For those of you who don't know, the Gravis subwoofers have a very storied tradition going all the way back to the 1980s. Since then, the Gravis line has continued to evolve, incorporating modern-day manufacturing and newer technologies in electronics, but never losing that spirit of what makes Sonus Faber what it is, which is an Italian artisan of sound known for their incredible handmade cabinetry and the very, very particularly natural sound that they produced. We're going to get into the specs of each of the subwoofers in the line. I have three actually with me today, but I will cover the details of all the different models. Before we get into it, however, make sure you guys subscribe to the Gramophone channel and click the bell notification icon down there in the corner because a lot of great highlights are coming up and I don't want to see you guys miss out. Now then, the Sonus Faber Gravis line and why these are some of the finest sounding and best looking subs available today, and why I get very excited about matching each one of them up with their appropriate companion speaker. Now, in the Gravis series, the more powerful standout models of the line can complement virtually any speaker in the Sonus Faber lineup, as they all blend together very harmoniously. However, that being said, as you guys can imagine, as you go up and down the product range, some of them do stand out a little bit more for being the ideal complement for a given series of speaker. For example, the Gravis I and the Gravis II complement the Lumina and the Sonetto series very well, especially because the finishes and overall look match those speakers almost perfectly. Moving up to the Gravis III and beyond, which also includes the 5 and the 6, there is no Gravis IV because 4 is an unlucky number in some cultures, so we're just going to avoid that one. The 3, 5, and 6 are great complements to the Olympica Nova range and up. The 3 more so a little bit to the Olympica Nova itself, a little bit of crossover there with the 5, and then the 5 and 6 to the Amaz Tradition line, and the 6 specifically to the Reference line. But let's start small and work our way up to the big guy. The Gravis I here is an 8-inch sub, and it's going to be a bottom throw subwoofer with the driver mounted on the bottom. This is powered by a 150 watt Class A B amp. That's right, even in the entry level sub, and I use entry level carefully because this is a still very high class product. But even the entry point into this series still uses a proper Class A B amp, keeping to that true to form ideal of Sonus Faber of a natural sound, of using that which is traditional yet also blends the latest in technology. We have a compact but powerful and cool running AB amp. And this little unit can still produce all the way down to about 30 Hertz reliably in most rooms. For an 8-inch sub that takes up as little space as this one does and manages to look as handsome as it does in the great piano black lacquer finish, it's hard to ask for more than that. Alright guys, so moving on to the Gravis II, the next in our line. This is a 10-inch sub, but it is actually a dual driver where you have a passive radiator mounted on this on the bottom as well. In the Gravis II though, obviously you're getting a little bit of a bigger unit. You're also getting a bigger amplifier to go with that bigger driver. That's going to be a 350 watt nominal amp, capable of producing peak burst of up to 700 watts. Pretty good power for a 10-inch sub, especially one that does have a second driver even if it is passive. I was actually pretty surprised myself when I realized that this had a passive radiator built into it. I thought it was a single driver this whole time, but that would explain its performance. This again is a Class AB amp and it sounds great, and this can extend when measured at -6 decibels down to as little as 25 Hertz. That is some pretty serious extension for a 10-inch subwoofer. I have 10-inch subs at home, and they're only rated down to about 35. So Sonus Faber has really pushed the envelope with the Gravis II, still giving you a unit that is relatively compact, all things considered. This is one heck of an offering for something that is just second up the product stack. Moving on to the next in the line, of course, will be the Gravis III. Now, when we get to the Gravis III, we transition into what is a notably higher-end product offering. Not to say that the 1 and 2 aren't wonderful, because at their respective price points, they're absolute standouts. The Gravis III, while I don't have one here with me, it is still a 10-inch sub, but it is in a much more robust body with a much more robust cone and of course a much bigger amplifier. Therefore, its tightness of bass, its total output, and its sense of control exceeds that of its little brother, the Gravis II. To give you guys a visual though, it looks much like its big brother, the Gravis VI, just minus the cutaway that we have at the bottom for the additional driver in this unit. And as you can imagine, smaller driver, smaller box. The Gravis III's driver design is also completely different, featuring a multi-layer sandwiched foam cone design that has a very extended throw, or as Sonus Faber calls it, an ultra-long throw. The amplifier in the Gravis III goes up to a nominal 600 watts of Class AB power, so we're starting to get into some serious juice for some serious subs. With the Sonus Faber Gravis III, you can expect a frequency response down to 25 Hz. But this is going to be a tighter, little bit louder, more controlled 25 Hz than you're going to get from the Gravis II. So while the frequency response hasn't changed quite so much, the output quality of the sub and the feeling of how it manages the bass does. Because between the better amp, better cabinet, and much improved driver design, you'll see where the 3 sets itself apart. Moving on to the Gravis V, the 5 is almost close to the 6 in size, but it is a single 12-inch ultra-long stroke design rather than a dual 12-inch design like you get in the 6. The Gravis V has all of the positives going for it that its little brother the 3 does, but because it is a larger sub, with a larger driver, and a larger cabinet, of course, it's also going to have a larger amp. And in the Gravis V, that amp is a nominal 850 watts. And boy, we're getting close to that 1,000 watt mark, and 850 is a lot all on its own. And the Gravis V is going to be capable of producing even deeper lows. Gravis V can produce as low as a perfect 20 Hertz. That's right, full range sound, Gravis V, 20 Hertz. As low as the human ear goes, and it's good for it. All right, now it's time for the big one, the big guy, the leader of the pack, the alpha of the bunch, Sonus Faber Gravis VI. Look at the size of this guy. This is one big subwoofer, and it's got an even bigger sound. This is a dual 12-inch ultra-long throw woofer sub. The Gravis VI also features that honeycomb foam woofer design with the tri-laminated layers on the outside. But now you got 2 of those woofers, and they're both long excursion woofers capable of producing some serious room output, even for a technically sealed subwoofer. Once we get dual drivers going, all bets are off. These produce as low as 17 Hertz. Infrasound. And with room loading, you can imagine you'd probably squeeze out even a little bit more than that if just measured at lower decibels. To stick a 1700 watt AB amp in a body this size, while not exactly small, we've seen amps that are bigger than this sub that are Class A amps. So to get something 1700 watts into this body, driving 2 long throw woofers, and making it sound the way it does is yet just another testament, another homage, if you will, to the incredible engineering prowess of the good folks over in Italy, designing, manufacturing, and delivering to us for our enjoyment these products of just otherworldly caliber. Another really cool feature of the 3 and up is the Sonus Faber Subs app and the full amount of functionality that it gets you in those product lines. You have 4 different customizable EQ curves that you can pick from the app right as you sign in. One that is a more audiophile setting for just really tight bass, one that is a little bit more of an exaggerated setting for cinema, and 2 others that you can fine-tune to just whatever your listening preference is. I personally prefer the audiophile one because, as you guys can imagine, yeah, I prefer the tighter bass, the more greater sense of control. And that app also allows you to set crossover points electronically, turn up and down the volume of the sub's built-in amp so you can match it up to right where you want that output level at in your room, as well as run an automatic room EQ calibration using your phone's built-in microphone. I've run the room EQ on the Gravis VI here, and running it is actually a bit of an experience as the sub produces an in-out kind of bass wave that feels as if something reaches out and grabs the room and comes back and pulls it in. It's a really cool sensation, and if you've never experienced a powerful and really high quality subwoofer before, I actually recommend starting with the room EQ because it will blow your mind to see what a sub of this caliber can actually do when it's allowed to cut loose. Alright guys, now we're going to talk about the compatibility of the Gravis subs, and all of these have a very unique trick up their sleeve that I'm excited to tell you about because you really don't see this often, and it's very, very cool. Well, let's start with the basics. All of the subs in the range feature at least 2 RCA line ins for just your usual and standard subwoofer connection. When you get to the Gravis III and up, you also get XLR ins for a balanced LFE or subwoofer connection. But Sonus Faber has this cool trick, and that is utilizing a Neutrix Speakon connector, which is a 4-pole design. Speakon are little round locking connectors that lock into place. You generally see them in the pro audio world. What Sonus Faber is doing with them is integrating a high-level input into the Gravis series subs. This is really cool because you can actually run one of these off a high-level output from an amplifier, as in a power amp, or from an integrated or a receiver, and still have a perfectly functioning and working sub. Most subs only accept low-level inputs, and generally that's fine. But there are some who say that using the high-level input on subs like the Gravis allow for a little bit greater expression of detail, and of course just simply allow you more compatibility. That's a really cool feature. You really don't see it in many subwoofers. Heck, you really don't see it in much of anything in this industry, but Sonus Faber has deployed it here to get that cutting edge in the subwoofer market. It works. The 1 and the 2 are available in a couple different finishes. You have the piano black like I have in the 1, you have the walnut like I have in my 2 here today, but you also have a dark wingay finish and a matte white finish. And both of them feature a genuine leather wrap top with stitching that looks super cool. You're probably not going to find, especially in this price range, more handsome subwoofers, let alone ones that sound any better. These are just, they're wonderful. The Sonus Faber Gravis III is going to be available in a matte wingay, a matte walnut, and a glossy piano black finish. That's going to be a great complement to the Olympica line, as those are the colors the Olympica is generally available in as well. With the 5 and the 6, they get even a little bit more distinct and unique, getting a completely hand-finished top panel that is lacquered with multiple sheets of a very bright, standout, popping lacquer that highlights the underneath wood. This is available in a high-gloss wingay and a high-gloss redwood, like you're going to find in the usual catalog for the Amaz Tradition series. These subs are high-class furniture as much as they are audiophile pieces. Across the range, the Gravis sub-series is a standout, and for each of their respective price points and categories of size and performance metric. And these subwoofers can be had starting at $9.99 for the Gravis I. And here at Gramophone, we carry a whole lot of subwoofers, and many of them are great. But there are a handful of standouts that, to me in particular, that I really take notice of. And I can tell you that all of us here at Gramophone are really proud to be able to offer the entire Sonus Faber product line, and of course, including these wonderful subs. So if you guys have any interest in this product line and you want to hear or see or demo anything by Sonus Faber, please start by going to gramophone.com for more information, and then pick up the phone and give us a call, because we would love to get you in one of our showrooms so that we can show you the incredible performance of these subwoofers, and you'll fall in love just as much as we did. And you'll find us in Timonium, Columbia, and Gaithersburg, Maryland. And we also have a beautiful kitchen design center in Hunt Valley, so be sure to swing by there on your way home if you're looking for a beautiful home remodel to go with your beautiful new subwoofer furniture. You can find us on social media too. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Howls, and Twitter, a few others as well. Links will be down below. If you guys need help coming up with project ideas, need to schedule a service request, or just want to speak to one of our hi-fi home theater and interior design experts, get inspired, and you can do it at gramophone.com. Also, ask at gramophone.com. If you have any questions about anything that I covered here on the channel, if there was any point that I missed or a question that you had that you didn't feel got answered, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. Please give us a like if you enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the Gramophone channel for all of your audio and home theater needs. As always, I want to hear back from you guys. What do you guys think about the Gravis line and about Sonus Faber in general? And which of these subs are you eyeing up? And please, in the comments down below, let me know what you'd like to see us at Gramophone review in the near future. We've got many great products, and we want to show them all to you, but I want to cater to you guys and see what you want. And so, with that said, thank you guys for watching. Be seeing you.